Hello, dear CAT aspirants. I hope you all are doing a rock solid preparation of your upcoming CAT exam. So, today we bring to you another topic from your quantitative aptitude section, that is profit, loss, and discount. This topic is important from your examination point of view, specifically from CAT point of view, because around 2 to 3 direct questions and sometimes 1 to 2 indirect questions are asked from this topic. So it's around a deal of 6 to 9 marks. So please do not ignore this topic. Also, in this particular video, we will be talking about the basic theory of this topic and some important formulas we will be discussing, which are going to be used throughout whenever you are solving a question of profit, loss, and discount. This video will be of a little basic level where we will be focusing on developing the fundamentals rather than going to a much advanced level. In the upcoming videos, we will be taking this topic to a much advanced level. Also, an important disclaimer before we start this topic: you need to have some knowledge of percentages, but don't worry, even if you don't have, I have talked about a little part which is required to solve the questions of profit, loss, and discount. But if you have done this topic beforehand, then this topic will become really easy for you. So, without wasting much time, let's discuss what are the learning outcomes of today's lecture. So, after taking this lecture, you will be able to understand the concept of profit, loss, and discount in your daily life. CAT exam is yet another thing, but profit, loss, and discount. These are the basic things that we use in daily life whenever we do a transaction. And I hope we do a transaction n times a day. Whenever we do a money transaction, we always think about these things: profit, loss, and discount. If you are a business person, you are selling something, you will think about your profit, you will think about your loss. If you have gone to some shop as a customer, you will always think about the discount. So this topic is very helpful in your daily life also. That is why this topic people start teaching from very basic classes. Our curriculum includes this topic from class 6th onwards, or even less than that, because this is something that is used in your daily life and everybody should know about this. Also, you will be able to solve the questions based on profit, loss, and discount for your CAT and other MBA entrance exam levels. This is important. This is why we are over here. Okay. So, what should be the correct approach for this topic? Like, this is a totally solving based topic, totally mathematical based topic. So, the very first important thing is that you create a formula sheet for all the important formulas of this topic, and you can update it daily according to your practice. Also, make quick notes of the important things. Important things, what I mean over here is, like, if you ask me personally, the sources of errors. Sometimes there are certain things over where I am committing error number of times. So that is my weakness. So I generally prepare notes from that topic and I keep on revising it again and again. So while solving the question, wherever you feel that you make a pattern of mistake, please note down those points. Keep on revising them every day. This will help you to have a stronger approach towards this topic. Also, solve old profit and loss CAT questions to know how hard they are in the exam. Then do mental math for faster calculation. This is valid for your any topic of quant or in general. Also, you should practice mental math more for faster calculation. Keep on trying tough questions until you get them right. So do not get demotivated. There may be questions which are beyond your thinking, which are beyond your level. So just keep on solving them, and one day you will surely be able to solve these tough questions on your own without taking any hint from the internet or from the book. So only thing that you have to do is do not stop practicing. Okay, so now let's quickly discuss the common terminology used in the topic of profit, loss, and discount. Before we come to this profit triangle, I would like to explain that to you. And I'm sure you all are aware of it because you have done it in your school time. So there are three important things in profit, loss, and discount. One is the cost price, second thing is the selling price, and third thing is the mark price, or what you famously call as MRP or market retail price. So we'll understand these three things with the help of an example. And also, it's very important to have knowledge about what is the difference between these three terms, because you will be encountering these terms on a frequent basis in the questions of profit, loss, and discount. So let's suppose you are a shopkeeper, you own a toy shop, and you got a small teddy bear for rupees 300 from a wholesaler. Obviously, if you are a shopkeeper, you are not a manufacturer, you are getting your stuff from some wholesaler. So suppose you got that teddy bear for 300. So that becomes your cost price. So cost price is basically the costing or the investment of the shopkeeper. Costing of shopkeeper. So this is the price that shopkeeper has to pay to pick up the goods and keep it in his or her shop. Now, before we go to the selling price, it's important to know what is MRP. So let's first understand what is MRP. MRP is the price which the shopkeeper displays to the customer on a tag. So you all have seen most of the goods in the market come with a MRP tag, and actually it is mandatory for every shopkeeper, for every business person to mark the MRP of a product. So suppose the shopkeeper marks the MRP as rupees 600. So he brings a teddy bear for 300 from the wholesaler and marks it on the price of rupees 600. So when you go to the shop as the customer, the price that you see that you have to pay is rupees 600. And this rise from cost price to MRP is called as markup price. So this becomes the markup price. So basically, this is the difference between MRP and cost price. So if I ask you what is the markup price of this very teddy bear, so that will be 600 minus 300, that is 300. And if I ask you what is the markup percentage, so you can see the markup percentage is 100%. That is 100%. Now, there are two another important conditions in this. There are some shops which sell goods on fixed price. So, if in the question it is mentioned that it is a fixed price shop, then the MRP becomes the selling price, because the shopkeeper will not reduce even a single rupee on this 600. But then there are certain shops which offer discounts, or there may be some sales going on. In that case, MRP and selling price is different. This is something you experience in everyday life. Whenever you go to a shop, you ask for a discount. Generally, you ask for a discount. And then there are certain times when the discount is already given by the shopkeeper. Suppose the shopkeeper says that if you purchase this teddy bear, I'll give you a discount of 10%. So it is not 600 that you are paying. You are going to pay 600 minus 10% of 600, that is 60. So you are basically going to pay 540 for this teddy bear, and that becomes the selling price. That becomes the selling price. So this is the price paid by the customer. This may be same as the MRP if there is no discount, or this may be different from the MRP if there is certain sort of discount or certain sort of sale going. Now, another important concept is of profit and loss. Over here, if you see in the above example, the costing of the shopkeeper, that is the cost price was 300, and he finally sold the teddy bear for rupees 540. So this is a clear cut profit. You can see it's a profit of 140 rupees. So in case when selling price is more than cost price, there is a profit, and if selling price is less than the cost price, that is the loss. Suppose you brought something for 100 rupees and you have to sell it further on 80 rupees because that thing is not being sold easily, so you are ready to sell it on a loss of 20 rupees. So whenever the SP is greater than CP, you will earn a profit, and whenever SP is less than CP, you will have to face a loss. So this is what we are talking about in this picture. Suppose the cost price is 100 and it is marked on a price of rupees 120. So what is the markup price? Markup price will be MP minus CP, that is mark price minus the cost price, that will be 120 minus 100, that is rupees 20. And the selling price was 110. So it means the discount given to the customer by the shopkeeper was 10 rupees less than the MRP. That will be SP minus MP, that is rupees 10. Now, if I have to calculate the profit, I have to firstly check, is it a profit or is it a loss? So obviously cost price was rupees 100 and selling price is rupees 110. So obviously this is a clear cut case of profit because selling price is greater than the cost price, and profit of how much rupees, that you will get by subtracting the cost price from the selling price, that is 110 minus 100, that is 10 rupees. So these are the very basic things that you must know, and please do not get confused in among these things, because this basic knowledge is what is going to help you frame difficult questions. Okay, so what are few important points that we have inferred from our previous discussion? Whenever you calculate profit or you calculate loss in percentage, this is always calculated on cost price, and this is very logical. This is actually a logic only. If you are to calculate profit or loss, this has nothing to do with the mark price. Profit and loss just involves two things. One is the CP, other is the SP. If SP is greater than CP, then you have earned a profit. If SP is less than CP, then you have faced a loss. That is very simple. So whenever you are going to calculate the profit percentage or loss percentage in something, you will always take into account the cost price. That is, when you calculate the percentage, your denominator is cost price always. It is never the mark price. Profit and loss is always seen in context to the actual cost price. And if you talk about discount, discount is always calculated on the mark price. Like in previous example, when the shopkeeper gave a 10% discount, obviously he will not tell the customer that he brought it for 300. He will always tell a discount on the mark price. He or she will always take into account the market retail price before selling it. So whenever you talk about the discount percentage, discount is always calculated on the MRP. So these are two important points. Please keep them in mind because they will be really helpful when we solve the questions. And this is again one of an important source of error. People make a mistake over here, like they may calculate profit or loss on MRP. That is a common mistake which is seen. So please remember, profit and loss has nothing to do with MRP, because as a shopkeeper, I know that I bought a thing for 300. The customer doesn't know. So the profit and loss percentage for a shopkeeper, for a business person, is always calculated on the cost price. And if you talk about discount percentage, is something that you are giving to the customer. So what customer knows is only the MRP. Customer doesn't know the cost price. Customer only knows the MRP. So if you give a 10% discount to the customer, you will give that on mark price. You will never give that on cost price. Okay, so then there are some important formulas. I would advise every one of you to note this down in your register or anywhere you are preparing your notes. So profit is SP minus CP, because you know in profit SP is always greater than CP, and loss is CP minus SP, because you know in loss SP is always less than CP. And how do you calculate the percentages of profit and loss? As we have discussed just now, profit and loss is always calculated on cost price. So you will examine profit percentage and loss percentage in context to the cost price. So that is why you can see in the denominator, you have the cost price in both. Either it be profit percentage or it be loss percentage. For profit percentage, you will do profit upon CP into 100, obviously, because we are talking about the percentage. And for loss percentage, you will do loss upon CP into 100. And then there are some important discount formulas. For discount, discount is always mark price minus the selling price. If you have to calculate discount in rupees, discount is always given as mark price minus the selling price. And if you have to calculate the discount percentage, then you will keep mark price as your context, because when you are giving discount to someone, it is always given on the MRP. So it can be mark price or MRP, one and the same thing. So discount percentage will be discount upon MRP into 100. It is not discount upon cost price. Please be very, very careful about this. So these two important formulas. So we have discussed three important formulas which we are going to use in the further questions. Okay, now here is a table in front of you which tells you that how can you convert a fraction to percentage or percentage to fractions. At times you need to express your percentages in fractions while solving the questions of profit, loss and discount, because using percentages can become tedious at times. Suppose if you are told that there is a profit of 14.28% on an article which costs rupees 49. Now, if some article is costing rupees 49 and you have to calculate that the profit is 14.28%, you will first calculate 14.28%, that is, you will do 14.28 divided by 100 into 49, and that will be the profit, and then you will add it to 49. But if you know that 14.28% is nothing but 1 by 7, then you can easily calculate the profit as 49 by 7, that is 7 rupees. So basically, the selling price must have been 56 rupees. So this is again a verbal thing. It becomes a verbal thing. So it's very important that in the questions of profit, loss and discount, you convert percentages to fractions wherever required. This makes your job easier. And this table summarizes few of the fractions into percentages or vice versa, percentages to fractions. So you must remember till 1 upon 25. Yes, you must remember, because if you remember it, it will make your calculation very, very easy and very, very rapid, quick. So if you remember this table, very good. You should try to do this, and obviously it is not a job of one day. You need to keep on revising this every day. Now you all know 50% is nothing but 1 by 2, 33.33% is 1 by 3, 25% is 1 by 4, 20% is 1 by 5. So this is very basic. You have done it in your school time, but now here the job is to memorize them so that you can quickly use them, spontaneously you can use them in your questions. So this basic knowledge of percentages is required, what I was talking about in the beginning. For now, you can refer to this table, but please try to memorize it with time. Okay, so now let's move towards the solving of the questions. As discussed, we are keeping the level of the questions basic because in this video we are more concerned about building our foundation, about building our fundamentals. So this is a good question to start with. Those who are here for practice, I would advise you to pause it and try to solve it in 1 or 2 minutes. Others, let's proceed further. So question says a shopkeeper makes a profit of 10% on an item which he sold to a customer at a discount of 25%. Due to high demand of the same article, he reduces the discount from 25 to 15%. What is his new profit percentage? So firstly, in the first case, the shopkeeper was making a profit of 10% while he was selling the article at a discount of 25% to the customer. And in the second case, now because the article is highly demanded, so he reduces the discount from 25 to 15%. So we are supposed to calculate the profit percentage. Obviously, one thing is sure that this profit percentage in case 2 will be higher than case 1 because now the discount is less. So obviously the shopkeeper will earn more now. Okay, so let's start solving. So the best approach, which I feel personally, is that you assume something as 100. And when you assume something as 100, this makes your calculation easier. So in this question, we have three things. We have the cost price, we have the selling price, we have the mark price. So I know that in the first case, the discount of 25% was given. So let's say if the mark price of the article was 100. So after giving a discount of 25%, the shopkeeper must have sold it of rupees 75 to the customer. And now I need to know the cost price. Now, how do I calculate the cost price? I know the selling price and I also know the profit percentage. And if I go back to the important formulas, I have the formula of profit percentage, which I will use in this question. So let's say if the cost price is X rupees, so profit percentage, you know, the formula is profit upon CP into 100. Now you'll wonder, I don't know the profit. I know the profit percentage. So what to do with this term? This is also unknown. This is also unknown. But this is not unknown. You know, profit is nothing but selling price minus the cost price. So I will substitute the formula for profit over here. I know the profit percentage is 10. Profit I know will be selling price, that is 75, minus the cost price, that is X, upon the cost price, that is X again, into 100. So I have got an equation in X. I will solve this equation and I'll get the value of the cost price. So let's quickly solve this. So this becomes 10x is equal to 7500 minus 100x. So when you solve this equation, you get x equal to 750 upon 11, and if you round find it up to two decimal places, then it comes out to be rupees 68.18. Please use an on-screen calculator. Again, I am repeating this instruction. It's very important to be handy with an on-screen calculator. Do not use your mobile calculator or Casio one. Please use an on-screen calculator. Okay, so now I have got the cost price as 68.18 rupees. So obviously this cost price is going to remain the same. Now in the next case, the due to high demand, he reduces the discount from 25% to 15%. Now cost price is 68.18 and mark price was rupees 100. Now, after a discount of 15%, because the new discount percentage is 15%, he must have sold it of rupees 85 to the customer. So now this is the cost price, this is the selling price. I can easily calculate the new profit percentage will be profit upon cost price into 100. So now profit will be 85 minus 68.18 divided by the cost price, that is 68.18 into 100. So now it's time to be handy with your on-screen calculator. Solve it, and when you solve this numerator, you get 16.82 divided by 68.18 into 100. So when you solve this, you get your new profit percentage as 24.66%. So this new profit percentage over here is 24.66%. So you can see earlier it was 10%, and when he reduced the discount, the profit rose to 24.66%. That is 14.66% of rise in the profit percentage. So this was a good question to start with, because I hope this must have brushed your skills, and this is, you know, intensively using the formula and the concept. So this question was a good one to begin with. Okay, let's move to the next question. Question says Raju bought an article on 25% discount on its mark price from a shop and then sold the article to one of his friends without removing the mark price tag on a discount of 10%. What is his profit percentage? So this is a very simple question. You can actually do it verbally without using a pen and a paper. But for the beginning, because this is a very basic video, let's focus on concepts first. So let's say if the MRP of that very article was rupees 100. So when Raju bought that article, he bought it on a discount of 25%. So he must have bought it for rupees 75. Now, this was the price which Raju had paid to buy the article, and now he is selling that very thing to his friend without removing the tag. So now this becomes nothing but this is the cost price of Raju, because this is the amount of money Raju paid to pick up the particular article and then sell it to his friend. So over here, Raju is acting as a shopkeeper or a business person. He bought something from a shop at a discount of 25% and then he sold it on a discount of 10% to his friend without removing the tag. So price tag was 100 rupees. So when he bought it, he got it for 75 rupees. So this becomes the cost price of Raju. And now if we talk about the friend, for the friend also the MRP is same. So MRP is 100 rupees. He did not remove the price tag. So it was displaying 100 rupees to the friend as well. So now we are talking about the friend of Raju. And now even Raju is selling it to the friend, he is selling it at a discount of 10%. So 10% discount on MRP means you have to subtract 10 from 100. So he sold that very article for rupees 90 to his friend. So this becomes the selling price of Raju. So Raju brought that article for 75 and sold it for 90. So obviously the profit percentage will be profit upon CP into 100. So profit over here will be 90 minus 75, that is SP minus CP upon CP into 100. So when you solve this particular thing, you get 15 in the numerator divided by 75 into 100. No need to use a calculator. You know that this will be 5 and this becomes 20%. So Raju had got a profit of 20% on selling that particular article. So again, a very simple question. Okay, so now let's move to the next question number 3, which says if a profit is 75% after giving a discount of 25%, find the markup percentage. Also find the profit percentage if the discount percentage is reduced to 12.5%. So you can see that this question has two parts. So let's first divide the question into parts and focus on the first part, which says if profit is 75% after giving a discount of 25%, find the markup percentage. So let's assume that MRP of the article is 100. So if the MRP is 100, then the discount, after giving a discount of 25%, the selling price is obviously 75. Now I have the profit percentage 75% and I have the selling price. Obviously, I can use them in the formula of profit percentage and calculate the CP. So profit percentage is nothing but profit upon CP into 100. So profit will be SP minus CP upon CP into 100. So let's say CP is X. So profit percentage is 75. SP is 75 minus X upon X into 100. So you can see we have got a very similar equation to something we got in the very first question in the beginning. So this question is very similar to that. Solve this using your on-screen calculator to find the CP. You get the equation 75X is equal to 7500 minus 100x. So when you will solve this for x, you get x equal to 42.86 rupees. So this is the cost price. 42.86 rupees is the cost price. Selling price is 75 and MRP is rupees 100, which we had assumed in the very beginning. Now we are told to calculate the markup percentage. And in the very beginning, while explaining you the terminologies, I told you that markup percentage or markup price is nothing but how much more did the shopkeeper mark the MRP as compared to the CP. So it is basically the difference between the mark price and the cost price. So mark price is 100 and cost price is 42.86. When you solve this, you get the markup price equal to 57.14 rupees. So this is the markup price, but we have to calculate the markup percentage. So for markup percentage, we calculate the markup always in context with CP. So while calculating the percentage, in the denominator we'll have CP and in the numerator we'll have the markup price, and we'll multiply this thing with 100 to get the percentage. So markup price is 57.14 upon the cost price is 42.86 into 100. So when you solve this particular thing, you get the markup percentage as 133.32%. So you can see that the markup price was 57.14 in comparison to an MRP of 100 rupees. And in context to that, we got the markup percentage as 133.32. So this basically means that whatever may be the MRP, like over here we assumed 100, whatever may be the MRP, the shopkeeper marked the MRP tag as 57.14 rupees more than his own cost price, and his markup percentage was 133.32%. Now in the second part, also find the profit percentage if the discount percentage is reduced to 12.5%. So again, a similar question to the first one. Now the discount percentage is reduced to half. Earlier it was 25, now it is 12.5. So we have to calculate the profit percentage keeping into mind the new discount percentage. So MRP we know was 100. Selling price after giving a discount of 12.5% now. Now it's not 25, it's 12.5. So after giving a discount of 12.5%, the selling price is 87.5 rupees, and cost price we have calculated just now a few minutes ago in the previous part. So that was 42.86 rupees. Now I have the new selling price, I have the cost price. So obviously you can see it's a profit because selling price is more than the cost price. So the new profit percentage will be selling price minus cost price upon cost price into 100. So selling price is 87.5 minus 42.86 divided by 42.86 into 100. So using your on-screen calculator, when you solve this particular thing, you get your new profit percentage as 104.15%. So you can see earlier the profit percentage was 75% when the discount was 25%. Now when the discount is reduced to half, that is 12.5%, the new profit percentage has increased from 75 to 104.15%. So with this, we have completed the third question. Let's move to the fourth one, which says a hair dryer sold for rupees 4,500 gives a loss of 16.66% to the merchant who sells it. Calculate the loss or gain percentage if he sells it for rupees 5,703.75. So now you are given some article, that is the hair dryer, which whose selling price is given. This is not the CP, this is the SP because this is sold for rupees 4,500 and gives a loss of 16.66% to the merchant who sells it. Now you all know that loss percentage will be CP minus SP upon CP into 100. So this time we are doing CP minus SP because this is loss. This is not profit. So CP is more than SP. Now using this formula, if I assume CP as X, I know the loss percentage is 16.66. CP is X, SP is 4,500 upon x into 100. So again, I got an equation in x. I can solve this equation and get the value of x from here. So this becomes 16.66x is equal to 100x minus 45, 4,50,000. So this is the equation that we have got. When you solve this, take all the terms of x to the one side and then divide it by this particular value. When you solve it, you get your x equal to 5399.5 rupees. So this was the cost price of the shopkeeper. So the merchant had bought it for 5399.5 and sold it for 4500. So that was a loss of how much? 16.66%. Now I have the cost price. Also, I can take this equal to 5400 because you can see in the options the values are not that close. They are very far off. So even if you use approximation in this question to make your calculation easier, won't make a much difference. So I'm taking the cost price as rupees 5400. Now the cost price is 5400 and the new SP. Now the merchant is selling it for 5703.75 rupees, which is sure shortedly a case of profit because now the SP is more than the CP. So we have to calculate the profit percentage. Obviously, this option gets eliminated, this option gets eliminated because over here they are talking about loss. But actually, when the selling price is changed to 5,703.75 rupees, this is nothing but this is a profit. So two options are left. Now we'll calculate the profit percentage. So profit percentage will be profit, that is SP minus CP upon CP into 100. So SP over here you can see is 5703.75. So 5703.75. You can take this also equal to 5704 as you wish. Minus 5400 upon 5400 into 100. So when you solve the numerator, you get 303.75 rupees upon 5400 rupees into 100. So when you solve this using your calculator, you get 5.625 rupees. So this is a profit of 5.625%. So option D is the correct over here. So please be very careful while taking the CP and SP and while taking the denominator especially. In this question, this is the SP, not the CP. And another common source of error will people will make over here is that in the formula of loss percentage, they will do SP minus CP upon CP into 100. Let me tell you, this will give you the answer profit of 47.87%. That is wrong. Please be very careful because it is loss. It will not be SP minus CP. Rather, it will be CP minus SP. Okay, so now let's come to the next question, which says a pet shop owner sells two cats at the same price. So very important information is given in the first line. On one, he makes a profit of 20% and on the other, he suffers a loss of 20%. Find his loss or gain percentage on the whole transaction. So we are given two cats, let's say cat A and cat B. So cat A is the one which is yielding him a profit and cat B is the one for which he has to suffer a loss. So the first line itself says he sells the cat at the same price. It means the selling price of both the cats is same. So let us assume if selling price of cat A is 100, then obviously the selling price of cat B will also be 100. And on the first one, he is making a profit of 20%, and on the second one, he is making a loss of 20%. Now we have the profit percentage, we have the loss percentage, we have the SPs for both. So we can find the CPs for both using the traditional formulas. You know, in this question, you can use the formula of profit percentage to calculate the CP, and in this, you can use the formula of loss percentage to calculate the CP. This is the traditional method which a normal student will use. But if you act a little smart, you can use a trick that is taught to us in the percentages. If you don't remember that, let me tell you what is that. So there are two things in CAT A. There's a CP, there's an SP. And in CAT B also there's a CP, there's a SP. Now, while going from CP to SP in CAT A, there's an increase of 1 by 5 because profit of 20%. So, you know, 20% is 1 by 5. So, while going from CP to SP, there's an increase of 1 by 5. So, if I ask you what is a decrease on going from SP to CP, obviously, if there's an increase from CP to SP, so from SP to CP, there will be a decrease. So, that decrease will be 1 by 6. Let's first understand for both and then we'll generalize the formula. In the second case, while going from CP to SP, there's a decrease of 1 by 5 because it's a loss of 20%. So if I ask you what is the increase while going from SP to CP, so that will be nothing but 1 by 4 increase. So now if I try to generalize it, if I am going from a particular number A to number B and there's an increase of n by D, if there's an increase of n by D, then while going from B to A, there will be a decrease of n upon D plus n. So n is 1 over here and 5, so decrease of 1 by 6. On the other hand, if while going from number A to number B, there is a decrease of n by D. So over here you can see there's a decrease of n by D. So while going from number B to number A, there will be an increase of n upon D minus n increase. So you can see while going from CP to SP, there was a decrease of 1 by 5 for CAT B. So while going from SP to CP, there will be an increase of 1 by 4. Now you can use this information directly to find out the CPs for CAT A and CAT B. So for CAT A and CAT B, let's look at CAT A first. So while going from SP to CP, there has to be a decrease of 1 by 6. So 1 by 6 of SP. So 1/6 of SP is nothing but 1 by 6 of 100, that is 16.66 rupees. So this is the decrease in the while going from SP to CP. So what will be the final CP? That will be 100 minus 16.66, that will be 83.33 rupees. So this is the CP for CAT A. Now, if you look for CAT B, while going from SP to CP, there has to be an increase of 1 by 4. So, you know 1/4 of SP is nothing but 1 by 4 of 100. So, when you solve 1 by 4 of 100, you get 25. So, CP is nothing but because it is an increase, so 100 plus 25, that will be 125 rupees. So we have got the CPs for both CAT A and CAT B. If you are not comfortable with this method, you can use the traditional profit percentages and loss percentages. But I would recommend you that be handy with this method because this method helps you a lot in various questions. So over here, you know I have the CPs for both and SPs for both. So the question is asking me find his loss or gain percentage on the whole transaction. So you have to find loss or gain percentage now on the whole transaction. So for the whole transaction, I need to know the total CP. So total CP is nothing but 83.33 plus 125, and total SP is nothing but, you know, SP for both was same, 100 plus 100. So when you calculate this particular thing, when you add 83.33 plus 125 on your screen calculator, you get 208.33 rupees. So this is the total CP, and total SP is 200 rupees. So ideally it is a gain. So ideally it is a loss. You can see SP is greater than, sorry, CP is greater than SP. So over here, your loss percentage will become loss upon CP into 100. So loss percentage, so loss is nothing but 208. Let's take 208.33 as 208 only, minus 200 upon 208 into 100. So this becomes 8 divided by 208 into 100. So when you use this particular value, you get 3.84%. So basically, this is a loss of 3.84%. So the nearest answer is loss of 4%. Okay, so now let's come to the next question, which says what is the single discount percentage equivalent to a discount series of 20%, 10%, and 5%? So this kind of situation we encounter a lot many times in our daily life. Suppose you go to buy new clothes. So there's a sale on which is giving you a discount of 20%. And then they tell you that, okay, sir or ma'am, if you buy our membership of our store, we'll give you additional 10% discount. And then they tell you, okay, if you pay from a certain card, if you pay from your HDFC card, if you pay from your ICIC card, we'll give you additional 5% discount. So a normal layman thinks that, okay, I got a huge discount of 35%, but actually it is not true. Now in this question, we are going to understand that how do we calculate a single discount equivalent to a multiple discount series. So over here, our discount series is 20%, then 10%, and 5%. So let us assume that the MRP of the article is 100. Why am I assuming MRP? Because we are talking about discount, and you know discount is always calculated on the MRP. So the first discount is 20%. So after giving the first discount of 20%, the new selling price becomes 80. That is 100 minus 20, that is 80. I think this is very easy to understand. After that, additional 10% discount is given, but this 10% is now not on the original MRP. This is on the new selling price, that is 80. So now the new SP will be nothing but 80 minus 10% of 80, which we know will be 80 minus 8, that is 72. So the new discounted price is 72. And finally, again, 5% additional discount is given, but this discount is now given on the new selling price, that is 72. So to calculate that, you need to do 72 minus 5% of 72. So 5% of 72, you know, is directly, you can divide it by 20, because 5% is nothing but 1 by 20. So this becomes 72 minus 3.6, and when you do it, you get 68.4. So what did I get actually? If I try to make a chain, MRP was 100. First discount was 20%, the price became 80. The second discount was 10%, the price became 72. And the third discount was 5%, the price became 68.4. So this was your MRP, and this is the final SP. So on this, can we calculate the discount percentage? That will be one single discount percentage. So discount percentage is nothing but discount upon, because you know discount is always calculated on the MRP. So in the denominator, you will have the MRP into 100. So now you know discount is how much? 68.4 minus 100. Discount is, you know, MP minus SP upon MP into 100. So over here, MRP is 100, and final selling price after three different discounts is 68.4 divided by 100 again into 100. So very simply, when you subtract it, you get 31.6%. So actually, it is not a total discount of 35%. Are you getting? It's not 20 plus 10 plus 5. It is the equivalent discount percentage, that is 31.6%. So overall, the person got a discount of 31.6% and not 35%. So your answer is 31.6%. Many people in excitement thinking that this is a very simple question will mark the D option. So please be very careful. The correct answer is 31.6%. Okay, let's now move towards the last question of this video. And I would say this is a good question. I would advise you to pause it and try it on your own, because this question is using all the concepts that we have used previously in this video. So it is a good question for the practice. I pause it, try it, and then come back for the solution. So the question says a shopkeeper allows a rebate of 25% to the buyer. So rebate is nothing but discount. So there's a discount of 25% offered to the buyer. He sells illegal goods, and as a bribe he has to pay 10% of the cost of the article. If his cost price is rupees 2500, then what should be the mark price if he desires to make a profit of 9.09%? So in this question, you would require a little bit of critical thinking and smart work. The very first thing which I see in the question is that cost price is given to me directly, that is rupees 2500. But is this the cost price actually? No, this is not the actual cost price, because if you dive deeper into the second line, it, it says that, oh, he's selling some illegal goods, and as bribe, he has to pay 10% of the cost of the article. It means that his cost price is not just 2500, but this is plus 10% more, because he has to pay that as a bribe to the person from whom he is purchasing those illegal goods. So you know, actual cost price is the actual investment of the shopkeeper. So over here the investment is not just 2500, but also 10% of 2500. So the total cost price is 2750 rupees. So this is what you are going to use as your CP in the subsequent calculation in the question. Now you have the CP with you. Also, you are given the profit percentage of 9.09%. So if you know the profit percentage and you know the CP, you can calculate the SP easily using the formula. Profit percentage is nothing but SP minus CP upon CP into 100. So when you keep the value of profit percentage as 9.09 over here, SP has to be found. CP is 2750 divided by 2750 into 100. So you've got a beautiful equation over here, and we can find out the value of SP from here by solving the particular equation. So when you solve this equation, you will take 2750 to this side, multiply it, cross multiply and do all the math and arithmetic. You will get your SP equal to 2999.975 rupees, which you can easily round off to rupees 3000. You can see this number is very near to 3000. So you got your SP as rupees 3000 over here. But now if you read the first line of the question, says a shopkeeper allows a rebate of 25%. So there's a discount of 25%. It means SP and MRP are not the same in this question. So there are two things. There is SP, there is mark price. So you know that when you are going from SP to mark price, or when you are going from MRP to SP, if you read the first line, shopkeeper allows a discount of 25%. So let me write it in the correct order to use the uh, trick correctly. So you know there's a mark price and there's a selling price. While you are going from mark price to selling price, there's a decrease of 25%. It means there's a decrease of 1/4 fraction. So I'm using the same trick I used in that pet owner question, if you remember, where while going from mark price to selling price, there's a decrease of 25%. So while going from selling price to mark price, there has to be an increase of 1 by 3. When there is decrease, if there's a decrease of n by d from number A to number B, then from number B to number A, there's an increase of n upon d minus n. We have done this in the previous question. Okay. So now if there's a decrease of 1 by 4 while going from MP to SP, so while going from SP to MP, there has to be an increase of 1 by 3. So for this, I'll first quickly find out one third of SP. So one third of SP is one third of 3000, that is 1000. So this is the increase. So the MRP will be nothing but SP plus 1000. So selling price is 3000. So and the increased value is 1000. So you get your MRP as rupees 4000. So this is what was asked in the question. What is the mark price if he desires to make a particular profit and he gives a discount of 25%. So this question has actually used all the concepts of the previous questions, and with this we'll terminate this video. So the video was of basic to mediocre level, and in the next upcoming videos we'll take this particular topic of profit, loss and discount to an advanced level. So now that you have understood the topic through our videos, I would recommend you to try the practice tests of the topic profit and loss available on our EduRev app. Apart from tests, we also provide a full-fledged course to support you in acing your CAT preparation through 170 plus interactive videos and video lectures, 150 plus comprehensible documents, and 110 plus tests comprising 20 full-length mock tests. So keep on doing your rock solid preparation and quickly go and check it out on our app.